to my channel, Ginger Ninja JK's Movie Reviews. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. To give you an idea what I'm doing here, I review horror films. Currently I'm going through the ABCs of horror, so every week I review a movie starting with a certain letter, going from A through to Z. So hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to please give this video a like, and if you would subscribe, would really appreciate it. This week we're moving on to the letter D, so let's get into it. Okay, and welcome back. So this week we're going to be looking at Dog Soldiers. Now this movie came out in 2002, and this here is my DVD copy. There is a whole host of special features on here. I won't go through them, but I'll pop them up on the screen, hopefully if I can find a decent viewing of it. There's a heap on there. As I mentioned, this film came out in 2002. It was directed by Neil Marshall. It does star Kevin McKidd, Sean Pertwee, Liam Cunningham, Emma Cleasby, and many, many more. And I am going to put this out here now. As I mentioned, it came out in 2002. It's 20 years old. But I'm going to say, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, consider yourselves warned. So the plot involves a routine military exercise which turns into a nightmare up in the Scottish wilderness. What I liked about this movie, now it is 20 years old, and it does look a little dated, especially on the DVD. I'm not sure about the Blu-ray, that may be a little different, but what I liked about it was the acting, the writing, the directing, and the special effects. To give you an idea, the acting, writing, and directing all come into one, and there's a flow. It's a very natural flow between the characters, which obviously comes from the writing and directing and the actors as well. And that flow between the characters is real. Like, it feels like just natural is the only way I can describe it. The special effects in this film, there's absolutely, well, as far as I can tell, there was no CGI. It was all practical effects, and it looks amazing on the film. It looks great. The werewolves are just perfect. Like, they look amazing. And there's this one scene when they get in the kitchen in the cottage, and they stand up, and you can see this sort of, the lupine effect, I guess, the way they stand, the way they move. It's so well done and looks visually amazing. So that's what I really liked about the film, and like, that's all through the entire runtime of the film, which actually leads me to one of the things I didn't like about the film. It does feel lengthy and drawn out. Not a bad thing. The pacing is really good. Like, it does detract from it a little bit because there are some parts, certain scenes, which I feel were misplaced. And one scene in particular involving a piano, where I believe Emma Cleasby's character Megan is playing the piano, and it just seems rather out of place, and doesn't sit well with the tone and pacing of the film. So yeah, that kind of detracts from it for me. Now, my favourite scenes in the film, there's a few, and one of them involves shoving the insides back inside. So Sergeant Wells' character gets clawed by a creature, we don't see it at the time, and his insides are spilling out. So you see the intestines, so if you're a gorehound, you'll love this scene. And they're trying to put them back in, and he's like, they're not going to fit inside. Just brilliant. And once again, that turns back to the writing, which is really, really top notch in this film. Ryan's changed. So Ryan was played by Liam Cunningham. He is also a protagonist in the film, and he's a rather nasty character. But his change to the werewolf was shot brilliant. Like, it's just, you know it's coming, because if you know the werewolf mythos and things like that, you know what's coming. But seeing it happen is really well done. It's not like, I wouldn't compare it to American Werewolf in London. There's a fantastic werewolf transformation scene, but the sound that you hear, the clawing effects, really well done. And of course, Megan, her reveal. There's a scene where her eyes turn yellow, and that's a bit of a twist of the film, but to be honest, you do see it coming. and I did say spoiler alert, so. So her reveal, eyes turn yellow and 3 or 4 werewolves stand up behind her, and you sort of find out that she's a werewolf. That looked amazing as well. Like these werewolves standing up behind her in this tight, confined cottage space. Brilliantly well done. Now, overall, I do enjoy this film. It does have its cons, and like I said, they do detract from it. I would give this film 7 out of 10. It's a good movie, it's well directed, well written, and the acting is superb. Like, the cast is amazing, and I mean, you do have some classics who have been in so many other things. Like Kevin McKidd was in Trainspotting, he was brilliant in that. Sean Pertwee, Event Horizon, and recently Gotham as well. Liam Cunningham, you know, Game of Thrones, he was Davos Seaworthy in Game of Thrones. So you've got a stellar cast in here, and they all do amazing in it. And it's directed by Neil Marshall, who also did The Descent, which is another one of my favourite films. I didn't obviously review that one for D because I don't own it, but it's a great film. So there you have it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Once again, if you can give this video a like, and please do subscribe, it would mean a lot to me if you could. But thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.